So let's
Mm.
talk a little bit about the dragons. We haven't covered this yet, but I'm noticing them everywhere. I mean, even people that are not, aware of the dragon energies are they're drawing them. I'm seeing them in all these people's records. Their dragons are wanting me to tell the person about them. And it's like almost every person that I root for has a dragon that's popping in. So what is going on? Is there a reason why they are making themselves so known right now? And how can we work
Yeah.
with the dragon energy?
So the dragons have been working with humanity since the dawn of time. Like they are the guardians of the earth. And I always say that Mother Earth is herself is a dragon. Like if you just go out into nature, you're gonna see her transform into like a giant serpent, anaconda, dragon everywhere. She's just got that. It's like her life force energy. She's like an original creation goddess. And the dragons are the primordial manifestations of individuality. So the first ever kind of individuated bodies, God incarnating into physicality, the first ever bodies were dragons and whales, and then eventually like stingrays and bodies that are very like glidey, bodies that are
Mhm.
very easily travelable, so if that's a word. And so, yeah, the dragon's role is to facilitate and to be a guardian of the timeline of the procession of the evolution of events and species and the process of evolution on planets, because in the beginning of a planet there's always kind of a grand plan, there is an intention, there is a design, there is a adventure that the dream is dreaming into. And so, yeah, on this earth, humans were meant to be populated here, humans imbued with the power of creation, humans that are meant to embody the qualities of God. I mean, it's really profound stuff. Like, this is like we're talking about avatars, right? The path of avatars, and how the avatars are really here just to show us that this is what is possible. Like, this is what humans are evolving into. And so the dragons have always held that knowing, held the knowledge of how these bodies are meant to operate, the meridians, the energy body, how they correspond with the earth, how the meridians grow and evolve and develop over time, and how it connects to the universal tree of life. All of this information is stewarded by the dragons and taught to humans through the dragons, which is why in every ancient culture you'll always hear about the serpent goddesses, the dragons. And in the Celtic times, there were, ancient dragon teachings, Celtic churches, and the Roman church found this very, they were very threatened by people's connection to the earth and to this knowledge, of course. And so they started creating all sorts of smear campaigns about Mary Magdalene and about dragons, about women and about dragons. So there's definitely a connection there, right? It's like slay the dragon. No, it's we befriend the dragon and we almost tame the dragon with our honor, with our embodiment, with our love and devotion. We befriend that energy that is so primordial and powerful that it will only befriend you if you're upholding that level of honor. And so I think at this time, I mean, at that time, there were these massive trees that lived on the earth in the ancient Celtic, ancient Chinese, and these ancient dragon lineages. There were these giant mother trees. On the top of the trees were these their own ecosystems where they're these cloud temples, and that's where the dragons like to live. And a lot of these dragons would come and teach the humans about, for example, traditional Chinese medicine. It's kind of all these teachings have gone through the fall, right? So now a lot of the teachings have gone very patriarchal, very disconnected, very mental, very, lacking that connection to the feminine essence. And this is due to the distortions of the teachings, wanting to take humans away from their original memory. But at that point, um, humans were really deeply connected to all of that and also to our own destiny of where we're going, and had a deep relationship of common respect of learning from the dragons. Eventually, these invading forces were very threatened by human connection to their own inner knowing, and so they cut down these trees and went on these genocidal campaigns to kill the original families, the ancient Celtic churches, the ancient Chinese families. Of course, it's still going on with Native Americans. And, it's really been one long story. It didn't start with the colonization of America. It began really, really a long time ago. Probably the Celtic lineages are some of the oldest genocides that have happened. And so almost every human being on earth is carrying like a genocide trauma. And that's why humans are very afraid of connecting to spirituality as well, because it's a very strong crucifixion program and broadcast like in the earth. It's very subconscious. It's like, if you remember these teachings, we will kill you. If you start to talk about these things, we will kill you, right? But it's like, um, when those trees were cut down, the dragons had to go to sleep. Sleep in they went to sleep in different creatures and stones and mountains, and also deep in the earth's crust. And they're just waiting for the right cosmic time to fully awaken and come back into union with humanity and work together to basically move humanity into this destined timeline of heaven on earth. And that's basically what's happening right now over the last started probably around 2012, but really hit like a new energy peak in 2017 and really started kicking off in the last couple of years, where the dragons are really waking up and now they're really awake and they're looking around. They're like, what the hell is this? So they're kind of pissed. They're like breathing dragon fire. They're like, you're not doing this to Earth's children. You're not doing this to the earth. You're not doing any of this. And they're finding the human beings who are already embodying those qualities I was talking about, like purity, generosity, willingness to be of service to something greater than themselves. As the dragons awaken, we're going to see this rebalancing of wealth and power, because there's been a lot of misuse of spiritual power, as we have seen, right? People that become kind of famous and they just lose track of what they're doing because all of a sudden they're better than everyone. And then that religion program comes out where they're now imposing their beliefs onto people. And, this moves us back to the foundations level, right? They just haven't gone through the deprogramming of the colonization and the slavery programs. And so the dragons are looking for like the angels that are like, oh no, like I couldn't be powerful. Like I'm not ready to like lead, but like they're just so pure in their heart. Sound familiar? There's just so many like pure angels who are just like feeling bullied by these energies of people that are like, yeah, I'm so important. I'm here to be important. And the dragons are like, yeah, like I think I'm gonna find the people that have really pure hearts and just imbue them with power.
Mhm.
And that's basically actually what is happening in my upcoming course, Womb Wealth Creation, because so I actually come from this original Asian dragon family, the Emerald Dragon, which originated in like the Indonesia kind of jungle area. And this was also the same lineage that Kuan Yin incarnated into, but it was not the only one. So that's why people feel a lot of Kuan Yin energy in me. She's like actually an ancestor. And people are like, "Are you Kuan Yin?" I'm like, "No, I'm not Kuan Yin. I'm Z." So, um, but there's also like the origination of ancient Chinese medicine also came from these dragons, which is again why my teachings are so deeply embedded in soma and body intelligence, because this is just the stuff that my body is carrying. My body's like, I'm here to share this. And so, yeah, these dragons are here to basically imbue this original creation power into the bodies of people that are ready to hold that power with integrity and honor, and to do it in the way of original creation, do it in the way of the original dragon temples. And I think this is what trips up most light workers. Is like, you don't want to get rich because you're scared that you're going to, get distorted, or like people are going to just judge you and think you're evil. But the thing is that you're actually the one that needs to get rich. You
Right.
know what I mean? It's like the people that don't want it. And so when I was 18, God would show me like, you have to like be seen, and you're going to be facilitating the movement of billions of dollars. Like I was like, I don't care about money. Like I have one pair of shoes. And I still have one pair of shoes, by the way. I just really don't care about that stuff. And then God was like, well, we have to build 200 ascension centers to heal the light body of the earth. And then they're like, that's what you need all that money for. And I was like, okay, I'm in.